Hey YouTube, it's Christina from Keystone Beauty here, and I'm kind of wanted to talk about The Hunger Games. I'm not gonna throw out any spoilers for the movie. I read all three books, the trilogy, and it is amazing. I really love the story. I like the characters, the plot. I think it is just an overall good story. I think guys could get into it as well, just because of the action and the love story kind of crazy love thing going on is also interesting. It's not nearly as cheesy or stupid or annoying as Twilight. So don't think it's like something crazy girl teenagers love thing. I really feel like it's a really good story. I will have to admit that I watched the first Twilight movie not knowing what I was getting myself into. After the movie, I was like, okay, I was interested in the books and I read them. And yeah, I just gotta say, that Twilight was way over dramatically like hyped up. The story isn't that great. It's about a girl who is obviously has social issues, who falls in love with two completely different people, and you know, and the teams with Twilight. I want to tell you guys this right now. Please do not ruin the Hunger Games trilogies by splitting the guys up into teams. That is the most annoying thing that's going on. I see it all over Facebook. Um, there's no Team Gale or no Team Peeta. There is just no teams. That is stupid. Just read a book or watch a movie and say, oh, I like this person. I think it's stupid. Like, just say you like Gale, or just say you like Peeta if you like one of the guys, or perhaps you like one of the other characters. And I feel so bad right now because I'm spacing out. I can't remember any character names right now. I read the books um, right after Christmas because I got the books from my brother-in-law because I was very interested in the movie, so I wanted to, read up on the books before I watched the movie. So it's been a few months and I don't remember all the names, but I'm just saying, we don't need to split up the boys into teams. That is my opinion. I'm going to tell you right now. I think it was annoying with Twilight. I joked around, with my sister and whatever a few years ago, saying Team Jacob or whatever, but like ultimately being all serious, Twilight isn't really that great of a story. It's so hyped up, it's not even funny. But The Hunger Games, I really think it's a great story. I just think it's not cheesy. I think it's real. Like it could happen for real life. Like that's something that I feel like it's more realistic than. Cause I like fantasy, but with realism as well, like combined. Nothing too cheesy, too dramatic, over the top like Twilight. The Hunger Games is much better than that, and I feel like because people are starting to put Team Peeta and Team Gale out there, is ridiculous. I'm just gonna say that right now. But anyways, so I watched the movie and I thought it was great. I'm not gonna do any spoilers. The issue with how they did well with the following the book, I'm personally gonna say I thought they did a good job. There's gonna be obvious differences, but I really thought it was entertaining, great, and you know, if you haven't read the books, you obviously are not gonna understand everything. Some of it might not make sense, but whatever. It's hard to put in every thought, every detail into one movie with hours of read time. So it's kind of like that's just what you get. If you really want to know more about the story, more about the characters, you got to read the books. You got to read the background story. So yeah, I think every movie has a background story. So yes. So and definitely, if you read the books, don't spoil it for anyone else who haven't read the books. I know that people do that in the theaters where they'll just start blurting out spoilers purposely and not caring that people haven't read books. I will say that there is a difference between a book fan and a movie fan, or both. because some people just like watching the movies. They just like to be entertained by watching a movie, and some people really love to read and really get into the story. So I don't think it's very appropriate and nice to just start spilling out spoilers in the movie theater. That kind of happened to me and my husband, and I kind of said something to these group of teenagers because my husband doesn't really read that much. He enjoyed the movie, and I know I'm going to take him to the next two movies unless they split up, like they did with Harry Potter or whatever, or Twilight. But I don't want him to, I don't want them to spoil it for him. So I just gotta say, like, if you read the books and you're in the theaters and you're talking to your friends, be aware that some people have not read the books. I'm just saying, be courteous to the other people, because I have heard of the Hunger Games before the movie previews came out. It was just I heard about it, but I never read them or even was interested. I didn't really know what it was about. The previews came around, and I'm like, this looks like an awesome story. I got it, and it's even more amazing when you read the books. So that's kind of my rant about the Hunger Games. Mainly because I'm really annoyed and mad that people are doing teams again. It's not Twilight, people. This is not it shouldn't be a big, huge teenage craze, because I think the story is very appropriate for many ages, and the love story thing is much different than Twilight. These characters are way more better, way better with plot and background and overall lines and what they say. And I'm not bashing Twilight. I'm not bashing the author of Twilight. I just really enjoyed this trilogy way more than Twilight. Like I said, because it's more realistic and more real, yet with some fantasy in it. Kind of some fantasy. It's not, in just some ways, I guess, because of certain things, technology-wise in the movie, but in the books. What is it? Is it utopian? What is that the characteristic of this kind of movie or this kind of story? Utopia. I really like those kind of the stories. Kind of like after the things have happened in the world. This is not really a spoiler. Like you know in the book. Well, I guess if you haven't read it all, if you haven't watched the movies, then it's kind of not really a spoiler, but you can kind of tell from the previews like what it's kind of about. But I'm just saying, I just think it's a really exciting, fun story. So do not start the teams, okay? And you may ask, well, which guy do I like the most? One thing about the story is that you do really feel the emotions and get inside the head of the characters. So, because I read the books, I don't know. Katniss had a hard time with that, with the boys. So, when you're reading the books, if you are reading the books, and if you have read the books, you will understand. You kind of feel like you're that person. You feel like you're Katniss. So, I don't know which boy I like the most. I really don't. I feel like they did a pretty good job portraying the characters in the movie. I will be honest and say that Gale is not exactly what I thought he would be in the movies. I think they could have casted him just a little better. I'm not saying that. I think that actor did a good job. But you know how the aura or the overall appearance of somebody can make you feel? I don't really feel like he was necessarily Gale to me. I don't. It's really hard too, because you would obviously sometimes connect actors to previous things, like the fact that he dated Miley Cyrus. So that kind of is hard to disconnect when you're watching the movie, to be honest. I didn't think about it the whole time. But, so I'm just gonna say that I feel like Gale was kind of not quite. I think the casting of Peeta did a really good job. I like that actor, and I think he does a great job. I feel like he was definitely Peeta to me. Katniss is a great selection. And then, ooh, Haymitch. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the name. Haymitch. perfect. My husband enjoyed his character. I feel like he was a great job. I'm excited to see the other characters from the other books. I'm not gonna lie. Her sister and the mom seem like a good fit. Let's see. Man, and I love this character so much. Her fashion designer. What is his name? I really liked him, and he's actually a rock star, I believe, a rock artist. I don't remember his name. I know I'm bad. But overall, I think the casting was pretty good. I think the feel of the movie was great. The emotion was great. It wasn't perfect with the book, but it was. I personally feel like they did a decent. Like, I wasn't complaining. I enjoyed the movie because I read the books. I know the background. I know what was going on. So it's obviously a little bit harder to follow along if you haven't read the books. Yeah. I think that's all I want to say about the Hunger Games. I kind of wanted to talk about it because I just watched it and I was so excited to watch it, and I'm so excited to see the next one. Yep, pretty much. I really want to just go buy it now because. All right, and this is my last thing I want to say because I'm kind of rambling. It's kind of a vlog, I guess, so it's not as structured, but I did. This is I guess I'll put up up top that it's sort of a spoiler, so you guys are aware. So if you do watch this, then but I really thought it was going to be a little more gory. It's PG-13. I guess there was enough. I really don't like it personally anyway, so I was glad that they shielded, they could have been worse with how gory it could have been because it's obviously gory. There's teenagers killing each other. So I was happy about that. There's enough action and enough obvious blood action that it made it real, so that was good. But I really thought there was gonna be more. But so I was like prepared to like go like this at certain scenes, but I didn't even have to do that. But yeah. All right. Overall, I would say I'll give it a thumbs up for the movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's worth it. I know there's back and forth reviews about people out there, but I liked it. It was fun. I mean, most of it was teenagers, but I was really glad no one was talking throughout the movie. I mean, a couple people were like, "Ooh" or "Ah," barely. I was so happy about that because I can't stand it when there's cell phones everywhere lighting up the room, and then there's people talking. It's like, hush, I'm watching a movie, and I know this was a good movie because it was such an emotional movie that everybody had to be quiet. I loved it. Yeah. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Let me know below how you liked the movie, how you didn't like the movie, some things, maybe some questions, maybe if you did watch the movie, maybe some questions below. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. No, because it would be spoilers for people down below. So don't put any like obvious spoilers down below, just to be nice to people. But alright, I guess I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna figure out something to do today. Who knows? Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye.